Evolving markets require an alternative approach to investing. Cut through the volatility with Yield Street investments that target fixed durations and income generation. Explore investments in art, real estate, legal finance, and more with minimums starting at $1,000 and targeting annual yields up to 15%. Discover the difference of a diverse portfolio with Yield Street. Head to yieldstreet.com to create your account today.
This episode is brought to you by BlackBerry. BlackBerry mobile devices were powerful because they were secure. Today, it's pairing the security you held in your hand with artificial intelligence to protect everything you touch. BlackBerry Intelligent Security. Everywhere. Learn more at blackberry.com.
Hey guys, this is Leah Lamar, and I'm joined by my co-host Teddy Mellencamp, and we have an amazing podcast called Real Time Crime. Are you obsessed with solving crimes?
Do you believe you should be giving an FYI to the FBI?
Then you need to join us on the Real Time Crime podcast, where each episode will discuss all the details of a high-profile case and uncover the 411 of the 911. Listen to Real Time Crime on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Now here's a highlight from Coast to Coast AM on iHeartRadio.
And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you, John Russell with us. John became aware of his psychic abilities around the age of 6, starting giving psychic readings to friends and family at about age 15, and by the age of 18, he was reading professionally. He eventually became an internationally known and has more than 45 years' experience as a professional psychic with a worldwide clientele, and as a paranormal investigator has witnessed more than 800 supernatural manifestations. A couple of his books include Writing with Ghosts, Angels, and the Spirits of the Dead, and also A Knock in the Attic, True Ghost Stories and Other Spine-Chilling Paranormal Adventures. John, welcome back, and almost happy Halloween to you.
Yes, almost happy Halloween, George. Thank you for having me back. It's always a pleasure to be here. We always have a good time.
We do.
I'm looking forward to it.
We love you on the program. Let's go back a little bit for the new listeners that are joining us all the time. 6 years old this all started?
6 years old this all started. I had, when I was 5 years old, I was awakened by this old black ghost. And I knew he was old because he had white hair and a white mustache. And he scared the bejesus out of me because I was sound asleep in my home.
Oh, I bet. My gosh.
And I wake up in the middle of the night for no apparent reason, and my parents had left a nightlight on in the hallway so I could see if I got up at night, woke up at night, whatever. So I wake up in the middle of the night, and I thought, well, maybe I heard a sound or something. Something woke me up because I was just suddenly wide awake for no apparent reason that I could discern. And I raised up on my elbows in bed, and I looked around. I looked out my open bedroom door down the hallway, and there was this elderly black gentleman standing there peering around the doorway. And I screamed bloody murder because, my family was white. We didn't have anyone black living with us. So as a 5-year-old, my presumption was someone's broken in. Someone's entered the house. So as I'm watching this gentleman screaming at the top of my lungs, then here he comes around the corner of the doorway into the hall, starts walking toward the bed, locking eyes with me, and he was as solid, George, as you or I.
Wow.
I can tell you what he had on. He wore a red flannel shirt. He had on khaki pants. He had black shoes and a black belt. Like I say, close-cropped white hair, white mustache. And I was just every bit as solid as you or I, and I was just screaming my head off. And as he got close to me and my parents began to come running, he began to vanish. Then he got translucent, got a little transparent, and then began to vanish and was gone.
Did he ever come back?
As far as I know, I have never seen him again. His job was to come and open up the portal to all of these paranormal manifestations that I've experienced so that I could experience the other side directly firsthand, learn from the other side directly firsthand, and then share those experiences with other people, get the knowledge I needed to later go on and become this internationally known psychic. And shortly after that experience, then my psychic gift awakened, and the rest is history, as I say.
Was any of this genetic, John? I mean, did it come from your family?
A little bit did, yeah. There was a little bit of a psychic gift, a little bit of a psychic history in my family. And my family had always had an interest in the paranormal, in psychic things and paranormal. but no one in the family ever had a gift as deep as mine, as powerful as mine, as accurate as mine, as consistent. Nobody has ever had the amount of experiences that I've had. Now, in keeping count, there's well over 1,000 paranormal manifestations that I've experienced on the physical realm. And a lot of time we get those on film. We audio record them, video record them. Many times there's other witnesses present. So it's really been an incredible life, George. It really has.
Good for you. Lots of Halloween-type ghost stories I want to get into with you tonight, John. But you have talked about something called cloud busting. Tell me about that. What is that exactly?
George, I tell you, this goes back a long way in the history of the psychic and paranormal realm. Cloud busting is if you'll go outside on a calm day, a nice day, you want plenty of sunshine and just a few little small clouds here and there in the sky. And you sit down and focus your attention and focus your energy on one of these small clouds, and in your mind's eye, visualize from your forehead this beam, like a laser beam of light, shooting out from your forehead and going all the way up to that cloud. Keep that stream going continuously until it touches that cloud. And when it touches the cloud, see that beam dispersing within the cloud and dissolving the cloud. And say to the cloud, say, thank you for dissolving. Thank you for receiving this energy. Thank you for dissipating. And if you really, really focus and really do that and really put your energy into it, that cloud will absolutely just vanish, just evaporate. Now, anybody can learn to do this. This is an old technique. It's proven. It goes way back, and it's one of the first things that you begin to teach people when you're trying to teach them psychic development is because, wow, look at that. It works. And the application that came to me the other day when I was thinking about this, I hadn't thought about cloud busting in a number of years. I practice it periodically just to keep that energy going. But the thing that came to me was if we can use the power of our minds that way, if we can use that energy and direct it toward a cloud and evaporate that cloud, make that cloud dissolve, what about taking that energy and focusing it towards that little bitty invisible coronavirus?
Interesting.
And all of us every day getting up and focusing on that virus and sending that energy out and say, die, dissolve.
To dissipate
evaporate,
that thing, get rid of it.
Yes, absolutely. And so that's my call to everybody is like, look, whenever you can, get up, take a few moments, focus on that thing and focus on dissolving it, dissipating it, getting rid of it, and nullifying it.
John, October 29th, which is a Friday, we're devoting the program to special interviews and what we call Ghost to Ghost, where our callers, our listeners call in with their ghost stories.
Right.
Do you have a favorite Halloween story?
Oh man, I've got lots.
You could take up the whole show that night all by yourself, I bet.
I could. I absolutely could, George. I really could. But I think one of the very favorite things I've experienced, and we may have talked about this before on the show, but it just was such a phenomenal experience. I had this beautiful white cat named Poe, yes, after Edgar Allan. And this was one of the most beloved pets we had ever had. And he became ill. He was well advanced in age. We had him since he was young, and he was up, 14, 15, 16. You know, cats get up that age, and they usually go.
Yeah, that's a pretty good run for a cat, too.
It is. It really, really is. And we have one now, as a matter of fact, that's going on 18, which is just incredible, just crazy.
That's phenomenal.
But anyways, Poe died, and he died on Halloween night. And just broke my heart, and I thought, but how fitting that he would die on Halloween night. You know, you can't get much better than that, have a cat named Poe that dies on Halloween. So a year or two went by. I believe it was 2 years went by, and of course I thought of him constantly, but especially on Halloween I'd think of him. And as we neared the next Halloween coming up, my wife and I were sitting there on the couch watching TV, and we had these large glass doors looking out into the backyard. And this was at our old home. We've since moved, but this was at our old home, and we had endured 2 hurricanes there. And the first hurricane we endured had blown part of the fence down, and in back of us was a very thick woods, lots of vines, lots of thickets, lots of trees, brush, and so on and so forth. So I'm sitting there, and something catches the corner of my eye. I look out, and my wife's on the phone, talking on the phone while we're watching TV. And I look out into the backyard, and George, guess what, comes walking out of the woods up onto the fence, sits down, and stares in our doors at us, this brilliant white cat that is the spitting image.
Oh, jeez.
And I grabbed my wife, and I said, look, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but look at the cat. Look outside. It's Poe. And she just gets gobsmacked, hangs up the phone, gets off the phone, and we're like, oh, my God, it's Poe. Poe has come back to visit us. And so I opened the door, went to go outside, and he got up, walked back into the woods, and I was like, oh, man. And I just couldn't stand it. I just wanted to get close to him. I just wanted to touch him or talk to him closer. So I went back in, sat back down, and as we're watching, he comes back out of the woods, sits back down, and stares again. And kind of the mental message I get is like, I can't let you come out and pet me. I can't let you come out and touch me. You're going to have to be satisfied with this. But here I am. I made it. I love you. I'm back. Here I am. So I got my phone out, zoomed in, took a picture, and then in a little while, he wandered off. Now, two things. This was a cat that when he walked through the room, no exaggeration, clouds of hair would float up off this cat. We ruined 3 vacuum cleaners with this cat in his hair. And I went outside when he walked off, and I examined the area where he was, and in all of this thick stuff that he went through to come to that fence and sit there, there was not one single stray strand of cat hair anywhere. The second thing was the photo that I took of him. When I looked at it and enlarged it, you cannot see any detail in this photo. You can't see eyes, you can't see in the ears, you can't see a nose or mouth. You just see the shimmering white outline of the cat. And it was just incredible. So they do come back, they do visit, they do let us know that they made it, and they do let us know that they're there.
Is this new house of yours haunted?
Oh, absolutely. All houses are haunted. You may not be aware of it, may not pay attention to it, but all houses are haunted. And the reason for that is every place on the planet has energy, has spirits that either live there or pass through there, decide to come there. If they're passing through, they may decide to stay. Most of the places on this planet that we think are uninhabited have been inhabited in the past at one point or the other. And there's lots of places where massacres have occurred and things like that. Here in Florida, we have Matanzas Inlet, and Matanzas means slaughter. And it's right on the beach, and it's this beautiful little area, and all of these Spanish soldiers were killed there. It's like, you'd never know it to look at it. But on every part of this planet, virtually, there's been something going on at some point. So every place is haunted, and the new house, we have the same experiences we always do: footsteps, voices, sounds, objects moving, that type of thing. But what is really, really neat with the move to the new house was that, my wife and I, we're getting up there. And so we had her son and his girlfriend come and help us during the move and help us pack some stuff up. And my son and I were sitting there working together, packing some specific items. And there were things that I had to get to the new office and get set up so I can work, do my podcast and interviews and so on and so forth. So I'm paying particular attention to what I'm putting in boxes, what goes in what, and what goes in what box. And we're doing that together, and we seal these boxes up and then take them out so that we can pack them up and bring them over here. So when I get over here, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, man, I'm just almost set up, but there's a couple of items that I really, really, really need for my desk, and I have no idea where they're at. And so I walked out into the garage where we've got a lot of the boxes, and I just told my guys, I said, guide me to this because, I really need this. And I was led to this box that my wife had packed, and it said John's shoes and like some other items and stuff like that. And I cut the tape, opened it up, and lo and behold, the items that my boy and I had packed and sealed in one box now appeared in this box.
Wow. Now, you also purchased a haunted doll, didn't you, from eBay?
We did. There was my wife and I saw a TV show, and we